Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room. Just a quick video today featuring the new Daisy Lane stamp set, which is one of the new designs coming out in the next annual catalogue, the 2019-20 annual catalogue. It's starting to grow on me, I have to admit, so hopefully you'll like what I'm doing today. Hey Margie, thanks for joining me. Just gonna bear with me for a second, I'll get my computer working. Had a bit of excitement in my family the last couple of days. Yesterday my car, I was picking up a Stampin' Up parcel, my car got run into in the post office car park, which was fun. So I've spent all day today running around getting my car to the insurer and picking up rental cars and stuff like that. So actually it's been quite good to realise how happy I am that I have insurance on the car, because they've basically taken care of everything, but it was just a little bit of running around that needed to be done. So it's all done and dusted now. And then our eldest son, who you guys might know, moved to Launceston a few months ago to work as an engineer. He was flying back from Melbourne to Launceston last night when the bad weather meant that he had to, his plane was diverted, and it was diverted to Hobart. So we ended up with our eldest son on our doorstep for the evening, or for the night. He stayed overnight. Waiting to get a bus back to Launceston, which he's only just arrived. His girlfriend just texted me, or fiance just texted me, and yes, thankfully he's arrived safe and sound. But yes, we have had an eventful few days in the Richards family. Anyway, my lovely car is being fixed and I've got a rental, so it's quite exciting actually. It's like having a new car, having a rental. I could get quite used to it. Anyway, so enough chatting. I've shared that wherever I needed to share it so we can get to do some crafting. As I said, I'm going to be featuring this little card here using the new Daisy Lane cling stamp set from the upcoming catalogue. We were actually given this one as a free item at On Stage in Auckland recently, so if anyone wonders why people go to On Stage, it's because you get great new stuff like this for free, and we were encouraged to use it in classes, so that's exactly what I'm doing. In my June online and in-home class, I'm going to be featuring this stamp set, and we'll be featuring this card, so you're getting a little bit of a sneak peek of my June classes with this card. I've got a couple designed, I've still got a few to go. So the colours we'll be featuring are very daisy oriented colours. I've got Mossy Meadow for the stems and the leaves, Mango Melody for a bit of nice highlight, and some beautiful So Saffron. So when you do my online classes, I usually feature 3 colours, and they are the colours that are going to be featured this time. So, and they're also the 3 colours that are featured in this card. So I'll just pop those aside for a minute. Okay, so here we go. So the Daisy Lane stamp set is actually a sort of a cousin or a sibling to the previous, from the previous Daisy one that Stampin' Up had, which now in my rush has eluded me. I can't remember what it's called. Daisy Delight, something like that. Anyway, so it's actually got the same sort of daisies and stems. It's got this additional little medium-sized daisy, which will, in the new catalogue, have a punch to go with it as well. So the big daisy has a big punch, so you don't have to fussy cut that daisy. You can do it with the punch. And this one, this new stamp set, will come as a bundle with the smaller daisy as well. So grab the whole set and you'll never have to fussy cut another daisy as long as you live. Anyway, here we go. So this card basically start with a standard, whoops, excuse my messy mat, a standard 4 by 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 inches base card. It's scored in the middle to form a 4 inch by 5 3/4 inch card there. So we'll just pop that aside. For our stamping, we've actually got a panel of Whisper White, which is actually just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the card base. So it's a 4 inch wide by 5 5/8 long. So I'm going to be stamping on that one first. So let's get the stamp set happening. So as I say, I'm going to feature all of those colours there. So I'll start with the beautiful leaf here. So a daisy leaf or a fern frond. I think it's probably more of a fern frond. Pop that on our block. And I'm going to put that with Mossy Meadow. Hi everyone who's joining. I'm just catching up with the names. Shirley, hi, nice to see you. Wendy, hi. Gail. And Karen, hi. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Did I miss the colour the yellow card was? The yellow card, that is, sorry, you probably didn't miss it, that is So Saffron. The card base is So Saffron. So here we go. Yeah, so I haven't got, someone was saying they haven't got the old one. I don't have the old one either. I actually wasn't that turned on by it to start with. And then when we got this one on stage, I had a bit of a play and I'm quite in love with it now. So we may have to go back and get the old one, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so anyway, these leaves, these beautiful fern fronds, I'm actually going to stamp off because, as you can see, the Mossy Meadow is quite a dark colour, and then just stamp around the card. So always remember to rotate your stamp so you get a different aspect on all your stamps. It just doesn't look same old, same old. Just sort of following the pattern on my first card. As I said, this is one of the cards I'm going to be featuring in my June online and at-home classes. So I think it's lovely for sort of beginner and casual stampers. There is a lovely lot of stamping and a little bit of decorating as well. So some nice techniques. Just pop that one in there. So we've just got some leaf fronds there. Let's hope my chamois is wet. Yes. Let's give that a bit of a clean off. Cool. Okay, so pop that one away. And so then we've got this beautiful little daisy, Upturn Daisy here, which we'll be using. And I've popped that in. I'll get rid of my Mossy Meadow. I'll pop that on a smaller block, and I'll do that one in the Mango Melody. I just love this Mango Melody. It's sort of got a beautiful gold sort of appearance to it, or orange. Anyway, it's beautiful. So I'll use that full strength and just put this beautiful little daisy all the way around. Go off the edge, so make sure you're stamping on something you don't mind getting inky. Rotating into those little gaps and things all around the place. Maybe another one here. Cool. Okay, maybe one poking its little head up there. Okay, that might do. And then I'm just using the new image of the smaller daisy here. So the smaller daisy, I think they call it a medium daisy, so maybe we've got a small daisy coming up one day soon, and that's in So Saffron. And because it's a nice sort of soft colour, the So Saffron, you can sort of use your daisy as sort of a background, almost like a background. Just fills in some of the gaps around the place. There we are. There's no real logic to any of that. Just do what feels good. Cool. So that's sort of like our backing. Almost like we've done a DSP for ourselves. with that. So we'll just pop that aside with our base card. Okay, I might as well keep that one on there because we're going to be doing our little tag. Now, I've got to admit that I cased the tag from a card I found on Pinterest. And I believe the demonstrator who did it was a Patty Bennett. So if she ever sees this video, please thank you, Patty, for your inspiration. Let's face it, we get inspiration from each other every day. But I love this tag. I think it's just something pretty special. Okay, so here I have a 2" by, I think it's 5.5" piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to use my tag punch here just to pop a little sort of decorative end on it. There you can see it pops up in there. So 2" is the perfect width for this punch. That just gives it a little tag end there, which is sort of reminiscent of maybe a bookmark or something like that, gift tag. Okay, so then, oh, it's not actually that daisy I use, it's the other one. Then we're going to put this one here has got lots of lovely stems and flowers. So I'll pop that on a block. Naturally that's going to be in Mossy Meadow. And that also is stamped off, I think, from memory. Hang on. Yes, I have stamped that off. I don't know that it matters too much, but I'll keep with what I've done before, and I'll stamp that off once and then just pop it straight onto our little tag. So keeping if you can see that, keep the bottom of the stem towards the bottom of the card, because you need room for your beautiful daisies at the top. So there we go. So that's our stem there. Yes, Shirley. Shirley's saying she loves the Fern Frond. I do too. I think that's probably worth, as you say, worth buying the whole thing just for that. I think I'm going to use that a lot. Actually, after here, I've designed another card for my class, which I'll show you, which just uses the Fern Frond, and I think it's beautifully effective. Okay, so I need my little special Upturn Daisy there, so I'll pop that on a block. So the daisy actually has sort of a perspective to it that's got sort of shorter petals at the bottom and longer petals at the top, and so I think it's actually meant that the longer petals are actually towards the top, just so you know, so you don't stamp the wrong way around. Again, we're going to be using our Mango Melody, and I'm going to pop some daisies around our stem. So one at the top here, looking towards the sun, and a few at the sides. And I've forgotten a very important part, which I'll get to in a minute. It doesn't really matter too much which part you do. Now, those daisies don't look 100% natural in the position they're in. They're overlapping the leaves and things, but it doesn't matter too much, because with the original card you'll see I've actually put the sentiments over the top, so you can't really see that the daisies are a little bit unnatural on that stem. They just they look beautiful, they look natural. Okay, so there's my little stem of flowers. And also what I've done, just to give that little tag a bit of highlight, is just go around with a little bit of sponge and sponge the edge of our little tag with some, it's just the Mango Melody. So just a little bit of sponge dipped in the ink, and then just pop it round, just to give it a bit of detail, a bit of interest. So you can do that as heavily or as lightly as you like. Just defines it a little bit better against the background. There, around our tag top here. There we are. So that's quite sweet, I think. There we go. Okay, so I'll get rid of that. Right. So we've got our card base and our homemade DSP going there, and our little book tag or gift tag on top there like that. Just to give it that little bit of extra interest, I've added some of the linen ribbon just in the top of that tag. It's actually the perfect width for the tag. It looks very natural, so you just chuck that on there and trim the top a little bit just so it's not too long, just there like that. And what I've done to keep that on is I've used a glue dot, just one of our Stampin' Up glue dots, and just popped one between those two pieces of ribbon, just there like that. Come off you. So there's just a little bit of glue dot there, as you can see, and press the two sides together there. So that's not going to go anywhere now, it's just stuck, and you can't really see the glue dot through the ribbon, which is nice. Okay, so I might as well start some assembling. So we've got our stamped panel here. We just pop that on with some glue, if it'll come out. Hi Cornelia. Cornelia says good morning from Germany. Good morning from Germany. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. I'll give you a bit of daisies in your day to keep you going. Bit of bright yellow. So there we've got our back panel there. Then I'm going to put my our little tag. I'm going to use dimensionals to give that some 3D effect happening. I'm not going to overdo the dimensionals. I'm still waiting to replace my order from when I was doing the floating frame cards. I don't know if anyone else has done the floating frame cards yet, but you do go through a huge number of dimensionals. I think I've got these little tags, these little dimensional backs. I did the vacuuming the other day, and I think I probably filled the bag with little pieces of paper from the dimensionals that I'd used to make floating cards. Yes, so it's a good thing they're beautiful, because they are very, very dimension heavy. So needless to say, I've got dimensionals in my next order because I need to replenish my supply with some classes I have coming up. Okay, so there's the basis of our card. Obviously we need some sentiment for the front. Here I've got, I think that's 7/8 of an inch by about 2.5 inches, so that's going to be for our main sentiment. Now this set has some lovely sentiments in it. It's got friend and smile, so I used friend on the original, so maybe I think I'll stick with friend because it goes very nicely with the It's Your Time to Shine, which is the one I've put on the longer one. So we'll go with friend. So I'll just block that up if I can find an appropriately sized block. Yep. There we go. So I've got the sticky bit on the back there. You may notice I don't use the stickers on all my stamps. I just use them on the sentiment, the words ones. As I find that I don't really mind too much if the pictures are slightly off. It doesn't worry me too much. Okay, so we'll just stamp our friend in the middle, or as straight as we can without going over there, Julianne. Flip that over. Paper has two sides. Oop, no, that one's gone totally wrong. Bear with me. What'll I do? Okay, I'm going to use this. I'm going to persevere anyway. So we'll just pop that on there. Not too bad. So there's our friend. And then I'm using my tailored, I use the tailored punch for my banner ends. I think it's really, really versatile in the fact that you can put banner ends on any width of card. So this tailored punch has been one of the best buys my personal buys with Stampin' Up since I joined. So we've got Friend there, which will pop up there. So as you can see, you can't really see the fact that the daisies don't sort of sit on the stem too well, because it is actually covered by the sentiment. And we've got I think this is 7/8 of an inch, no, 3/8 of an inch by about 3.5 inches. And I'm going to use this little It's Your Time to Shine sentiment on this one. Pop that on the block. There we go. So there, and again in black, and pop that on this little piece here. Line that up as well as I can. That's better. And again, using the tailored tag punch, I'm just going to give that a little bit of a banner finish. There we are. And that's going to go here. So what I've actually done with the original card is, because they're quite long, what I did was actually glue the main body of it to the tag, and then just put a solitary dimensional here so that the end was firm. So a dimensional on this end and just glue there. I might re-stamp that, so I'm not going to stick that down, but I will do the bottom one. So basically just putting glue on one half, if it'll come out. That's probably a little bit too much. And then a dimensional, and I'll use a small dimensional because it's quite slender. Just put a little dimensional on that end. Another piece of dimensional paper hits the floor, and pop that on, straighten it up, pop that on at about there. So the dimensional hits the base card and the glue hits the little tag. Yep, so as I say, I'll do another one, but that's basically what the outside of that card looks like, as we can see there. Now I've left that little tag free. I haven't glued that down. I just think that adds a little bit of interest to the card as well. I haven't done the inside of that one. I suppose I should. I'll just grab some Whisper White. Just grab some Whisper White and cut it to the right shape. Think about what we're going to do on the inside. So the inside would be 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches. Might just carry the theme from the little tag. I think I'll just do a stem. Mossy Meadow. I have it coming up here. Seems to, actually, might have it coming up here because it follows the line of the stem better. Just bring it up the edge there. Bit like that. And I'll give it some of the same flowers. Here. How's that? That's quite sweet. Maybe it needs a few more. Maybe not. I might just leave that. Less is more. Less is more. Okay, hang on. I'll just close out of that. Got weird things on my computer. Okay, so that would be the inside of that one. And I'll just attach that in there. There's no real sentiment in the thing. We've got Friend, It's Your Time to Shine. I think we just leave that with the flower on the inside, and the recipient can, the giver can sort of put their own sentiment in there. so to speak. Cool. Okay, so I just want to show you the other card that I did with this stamp set, with this the Fern Frond, which I think is beautiful, and I'll just show you, if I do have to say so myself. Here it is. So it basically just uses the Fern Frond from the set. So this one, if you guys like that. So it's just the frond, obviously there. And all I've done, and I might show you how I've done it rather than actually making the card, because that's another card I am going to feature in my June class. So if you like the look of that, please enroll in the class. So I've got just the small panel of Whisper White, and I'll just cut that to about the right shape, size. So it's just a, what's that? That's 5 inches by 3 1/4 inches of Whisper White. I'll just cut something like that. Okay, so we've got a small panel of Whisper White here. Okay, and our Fern Frond, which I'll put on a block. So the basis of the card is, and you may need to practice a little bit. I know I tried a few times before I got it right. But you've got your Mossy Meadow and you've got your Fern Frond. And basically the pattern is just a full strength in that one, and then you do it, keep repeating the stamp without re-inking, just to get your first and your second and your third stamp off. But I think that's really, really sweet. So wish me luck, and I'll see. So you're basically getting, you get yourself in the right position and just move down. Now unfortunately the Stamparatus isn't quite right for this, because it's less than a slot along. So anyway, we'll see how I go. As I say, it took me a few times to get it the first time. And you've got your first. You're basically just keeping your block in the same orientation and the same sort of position on the card as much as you can. See how we go there? Isn't that great? I just really love that, and that is so simple, but I think that's really effective. So fundamentally all I've done is, with that pattern, mounted it on a panel of Mossy Meadow and then a Whisper White base card, and used my tailored punch in Whisper White with a Mossy Meadow background. And this ribbon is the new Good Morning Magnolia ribbon from the new catalogue, which I think has got some really nice natural sort of good natural sort of linen look, which I think looks really nice with this card. It's sort of almost a masculine card, I think, which is really, it's nice to be able to get a masculine card, out of something that's fundamentally, flowers, which is really good. Okay, so as I say, they are 2 cards I'm going to be featuring in my June in-home and online classes. If anyone's watching from the Hobart, Tasmania area and they'd like to pop along, you're more than welcome. We've got some spaces, and I'm happy to put on extra classes if you've got a group of 2 or more, if you can't come on the day that I have advertised. Also, but as I say, I do this 2 of the 5 that I will be designing for my online class as well. So keep an eye out for the advertisements of that class on my business page if you're interested. So I'll be doing those, plus I'll design 3 more which I haven't actually got in my head yet, but I'm pretty sure I will feature the punches and the larger daisies. Okay, so that's those. I just wanted to show you one more thing. I won't be doing this today, but I will in a video probably over the weekend or next week. This is the Good Morning Magnolia suite. This is the image which I'm sure everyone's seen the main image from that stamp set, which is absolutely glorious. It's backed with a sheet of the designer series paper, which matches the colours beautifully. So the colours are Petal Pink and Mossy Meadow in the blends. But the thing of interest, and I wanted to show you, is these 3D Magnolias that I've put on the outside of my little frame. They're part of the die set, so you can make these beautiful, everything you need to make those little Magnolias is in the die. And I think they are glorious. So what I thought I might do in my next video is just show you how to put together these 3D Magnolias, and I'll make that as well. But obviously that's just in a little frame that I got from a local homewares store, and I think it's turned it into something quite special, so I'm really pleased with that. So anyway, that's my next video. I'll show you how to make those Magnolias, how to curl the leaves, and you know, how to use one of the common punches to make that big one. It was sort of bigger than the other two there. Anyway, so that's a bit of an advert for my next video. Watch out for the event next time on my business page. That's it for me today. I have ordered my new catalogue, so I've got a couple of packs of catalogues coming. So everyone who's on my mailing list will get the catalogue free in their mailbox once they're in my hands. I'll post them straight away. If you'd like to get a free catalogue, just sign up for my mailing list. Please keep in mind though that, I mean, the catalogues I buy and then I pay postage, so please sort of consider whether you're actually interested in purchasing from me before you request the catalogue. If you have a Stampin' Up demonstrator closer to where you live, you know, that's great too. But if you haven't and you'd like to look at buying some items from me, just leave a message or sign up for my mailing list, and I will pop that in the mail for you as soon as it comes to me, which should be early next week. Anyway, I'll pop off for now. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and everyone who's live and everyone who's watching the replay. I will catch you again over the weekend, probably, with this Magnolia frame that I've shown you here. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all later.